Hello everyone and welcome to Credit Finance. In today's video, I bring you an update a great news for Social Security cost of living adjustment announcements overnight. As you take a look, the president has signed, he said, I just signed the law to keep the government open for the next 47 days. There's plenty of time to pass government funding bills for the next fiscal year and strongly urge Congress to get to work right away. The American pupils expect their government to work. Let's make sure it does. Now this means that the government will remain open for the next 47 days and in addition to the announcement for the Social Security cost of living adjustment for 24, the increase to benefit across the board for all recipients of retirement SSI, SSDI, any of the fixed income benefit from the Social Security Administration. It will be delivered on time as scheduled on October 12th. Now, we are going to give you some of the details regarding the signing of this bill. What unfolded overnight with this huge unexpected breaking news, and in addition to that, how it would have potentially impacted Social Security. And we had a government shutdown. What would have happened to check and services? What would have impacted? What would not have been? Now, in addition to that, a lot of people are wondering, hey, President Joe Biden, what about the promise of an extra $200 per month across the board of all Social Security recipients? And also, what is going on with these letters coming out from the Social Security Administration saying that people's owe back pay? As a lot of my viewers here on the channel have let me know this is happening to them, and I have got to let them know this is actually real. Well, stick around to the end of some updates on that as well, so that's way you can be catch up on everything. But with that being said, let's go and dive right into the details. Now, before we get started, if you are interested in latest news regarding stimulus, child tax credit, SNAP, PEBT, and everything in between, so make sure you hit that like and subscribe button down below. So that was the last night in Congress as they finished this hours, because it was going to be due to take a look at this just coming out this morning. Biden signs the 45 days funding bill to keep the government open. This is linked in the description below. I always cite the sources. You can see it's the latest. Now the Senate passed a last minute spending bill Saturday night, averting a government shutdown that would have triggered a calamity, a dominoes effect on the American publics and the economy. Now the Senate voted to pass the continued resolutions 3 hours before the 12 a.m. shutdown of the federal government, which would have taken effect. Now the measure was signed into law by President Joe Biden late Saturday night. I shared with you that tweet that came out from this picture of him signing the bill, allow the government to stay open for 45, giving the House and the Senate more time to finish funding legislation of 71 pages short-term bill crafted by House Speaker Kevin McCarthy allots disaster relief funds but does not include new financial assistance for Ukraine's going war with Russia. So new funding to Ukraine, it was not included, and I heard a lot of people saying that were happy that our money was not going out overseas, that they are going to be able to use that here for the American peoples now. Since the inspection of Russia's full-scale war in Ukraine, the US has unleashed a war chest worth more than 43 million in security assets for Kiev. Early on Saturday, the House voted 335 to 91 to pass the stop gap spending measures, and the House will resume work on Monday. Now, if you're wondering what have been the impact to Social Security had they not passed this, let's cover the details for you, and also what would have been impacted. And as I mentioned, included in what would have been impacted, impact would have been the announcement for the Social Security cost of living adjustment had the government shut down. Past a couple weeks now, this just came out yesterday, and as always, link in the description below, and it says the separate of federal government shutdown, which was averted Saturday thanks to last-second promise brokered by House Speaker Kevin McCarthy mere hours before the deadline raised question for Social Security recipients about how potential stoppage could impact their monthly benefit checks. While the bill, which passed both the House and the Senate Saturday, will fund the government through November 17. So things should continue on as expected in the event a deal had not been reached and a shutdown had occurred. However, experts says that would have come with some good or bad news for the 66 million Americans on Social Security. So, what a government shutdown affects Social Security checks? Well, the first good news is that a shutdown would not impact Social Security checks. According to Catherine Rock, Director of Social Security and Disability Police at the Center on Budget and Police Priorities, a left-leaning think tank, Social Security and Supplemental Security Income or SSI benefits will be paid without interruption. She said the field offices and phone lines will be open to take applications and help beneficiaries. She added generally applicants and beneficiaries should experience the same services as usual, and that's because the Social Security is funded through permanent rather than annual federal appropriations, which means the checks will still go out. The average monthly check for retirees in $1827. According to the Social Security Administration, said that last month that it will continue with activities critical to our direct service operations and those needed to ensure accurate and timely payments for benefits in case of a shutdown. Now, what a government shutdown affects Social Security services? Now, the bad news is yes, some services might be impacted by a shutdown. Although recipients will continue receive payments even in other government agencies closed, that's because the about 15% of the Social Security Administration staff would be fired in their government shutdown. Roig noted, now a few customer activities will be suspended such as benefit verifications and replacement Medicare cards, but Social Security Administration is allowed to keep on staff that ensure the payments of Social Security and SSI benefits because the checks are guaranteed by law. She explained, and another trouble spot could be the state of disability determination services, which makes medical decisions on whether pupils applying for Social Security disability payments qualify for them or not. The Social Security Administration argues state to continue their work during a shutdown, but the decisions lies with the state governments, and in the past some have closed because there are already huge backlogs and disability decisions. The government shutdown could worsen delays, Romick said, but again, as I mentioned, probably the biggest impact to Social Security recipients would have been the delay of the announcement of the cost of living adjustment for 2024, which was scheduled for October 12th. But had this morning, October 1st, we woken up to federal government shutdowns, they are saying it could have possibly lasted a couple weeks, and had that happened, the US Department of Labor would not be able to announce their CPI data reading, which determines the cost of living adjustment for Social Security Administration rises annually to all beneficiaries, and there would have been a delay in the announcement. However, just to clarify, would not be a delay in the checks received or the increase applied on January, unless the government shutdown lasted that long, which seems unlikely. However, it would have delayed the news, which a lot of people are waiting to see how much are our increase going to be, because this is the annual cost of living adjustment that all recipients receive and look forward to keep up just with the pace of inflation. So now that's all the update that I have for today. Remember to turn on your notification button to know when I have uploaded a new video. Thanks for watching and see you guys next time.